So hello everyone, thank you for joining today. I hope all of you are doing really well and have a really wonderful Tuesday. I'm Tomas Mikolaitis, Teltonika Network's RMS product owner. And today I will guide you through the new chapter of RMS, which brings, to our platform a new tool for effective networks management, the network map. This tool, in my opinion, can be represented in many ways. However, I want you to guide through the process, we went, through from the beginning, from the way before any code was written to make network map real and available to all RMS users, and of course, all devices. And when we began thinking about RMS, we took a challenge and asked ourselves a question: how simplify network management? How visualize those complex networks, for everyone? And was the idea of network map. The idea and motivation for network map came from the wish to have detailed network topology, capable not only to visualize what is connected, how the end device connects from the origin, from the LAN port, to a public internet, but to bring tool which at a glance can show, is the network configured in the way it must be configured? Does all devices take communication path they must take? And if not, with few clicks and selections, change the flow in a matter of seconds. And we thought not only about management of that network, because this is one beast, you have to tame. The goal was to create a tool which helps from the beginning, from the point where users must configure every single networking device from scratch to make it part of the whole organization network. And it doesn't matter if it's a big or small network. Here, we are giving a tool to everyone to be effective in managing networks. So the network map has a goal, and it is clear: simplify network management. But it is easy to say to simplify network management. To simplify this management for the users, someone has to take all the hard work. And in this case, RMS performs all the complex tasks itself. And for this, we had to introduce a number of features to achieve that. The first one of the features you will see in the network map and you will be experiencing it is a full path configuration. RMS Networks Map recognizes all Teltonika networking equipment which is managed: routers, managed switches, access points, and other equipment we are providing. And it removes the need of individual device configuration, since depending on the devices you have selected at what you want to configure, it will go through all the devices and apply necessary changes if required for each of it to ensure that all the path for end equipment communication is complete. And another challenge in today's networking is effective big Wi-Fi networks management. Any modern building or other installation can have number of access points, which must be configured, and this can be easily become a time-consuming problem to make everything work according to plan. I'm not mentioning even, management and future updates if it requires to do so. And to address this challenge, Network Map incorporates a Wi-Fi manager. For effective control of all Wi-Fi interfaces in Teltonika routers and access points, this tool is simply using existing interfaces inside the router and adding new ones for effective assigning to new or existing VLANs, segmented networks, from all the access points available in that specific network. It's just click and configure what you want to add to any part of the network Wi-Fi communication. Also, to ensure network security and ease of management of all connected end equipment, the network map also allows easily create new LAN interfaces, assigning them to specific VLANs, in this way, segmenting site network, which helps to improve communication performance and security for all the users of specific site. Another part of effective networking, we can't forget why networking we have, is the management of WAN access. Here, Network Map gives options to easily control which one or multiple WAN sources are used by selected LAN interface, how they behave in load balancing or failover situations. Of course, I have to address an elephant in the room. Network Map, as the name states, is capable of automatically generating topology of connected network. It uses the information collected from all connected Teltonika devices, and this enables, first of all, not only visual representation of what device connected to what, but also shows physical and logical connections of the network as you are seeing in the screen now. And of course, the last one of simplifications which we made and added to RMS is enabled by the last feature, automatic topology. This visual representation of the network allows you just to configure firewalls, port forwarding, and other parts of the network just by selecting elements of the same topology. If you want to add rule, just select new rules, select what you want to add for that rule, select interfaces. Here you have configured network. No need to go inside a selected router and add firewall traffic rules individually as an example. But to better understand the management possibilities and the value of Teltonika solution, which Network Map brings to all the users, I want to look into two identical topologies. The one difference is one of these will use mixed networking equipment with single router of Teltonika, and other will be full Teltonika solution. And let's look how those two scenarios differs. So the first one is mixed network scenario. It is the real screenshot taken from the network map, working in Teltonika, and I want you to focus in a few important aspects. Here we have an X50. It is represented as individual WAN and LAN interfaces because we wanted to give detailed information, how the network flows, how the communication happens for specific device. So you don't have to guess, is my configuration correct? It shows you how it works in real life and real, physical location. However, since this is the only one device which is connected to our router is only one device supporting network map, while we can see what is connected, while we can see that some sort of network map is limited in capabilities. The one thing what I can say, for example, looking in this topology, that, for example, this one of our routers are connected to third port of X50. This whole big group of devices are connected to port 2, but we don't know what path it takes, what kind of SSIDs it uses, etc. And lastly, we see another group, again, which just, seeing connected to a LAN 1 port of X50. While still we have a possibility to control segments of the network and VLANs, and again, add rules, all different values are missed here. If we would look, into capabilities, I just talked about RMS, the features we brought, we see that only segmentation and multiple WAN management are here like in full disposal because we are fully controlling route X50 in my given example. Full path configuration, Wi-Fi access point management, again, this becomes limited or hard to achieve by not utilizing full Teltonika equipment. Of course, other parts of automatic topology generation you have here. But I want to show a different story. I wanted to make, easier options. So let's upgrade everything and add more Teltonika devices into full Teltonika scenario. Here we have the same topology, but it has few differences, as you can see. It's now more detailed. We have more information what is happening inside the network we are managing. So still, as before, we have X50 working as a main gateway, segmenting the network, and of course, managing all the traffic, which goes in and out from the internet. But by adding a TSW212, TSW202, our managed switches, now we can easily see the groups. We see that, those switches are connected to LAN 2 and LAN 1 port respectively, and those devices connect behind them. So now we are seeing more information about the control. On top of that, by introducing our TAP 200 access point, Wi-Fi 5 access point, we now see its Wi-Fi networks. You can see that we have two SSIDs, and if we want, we can easily add a new one just by clicking plus button. And that is also not enough, for you. We also can see what devices are connected to an individual interface of the Wi-Fi. We can see that number of devices are connected to, in my case, OPM Wi-Fi, and I have an IoT device connected to IoT Wi-Fi. This really helps not only with knowing what's connected where and is it applying to correct rules. Again, seeing how network behaves and how user behaves. It also helps with simple problems of knowing where stuff is connected. And here, by utilizing full Teltonika scenario, RMS Network Map can provide the easy management. And now it is possible to make easy configuration, easy management of the whole network. Again, no more guessing where one device is connected to which access point maybe doesn't work, which not respond to communication. And on top of that, it's easy to establish even remote communication to a third-party devices. And of course, everything is at your fingertips. But again, some of you might ask, who cares about that detailed communication? I just need to know that if something's connected, who would use such tool? Naturally, it would be IT administration, again, or any personnel who deals with company IT networks, with solution IT networks when you have to manage not one or two devices, but again, some kind of fleet of devices. And this can be offices, small businesses, homes even, remote solutions, any other network, which again, must be managed because all these networks have in common, they must be managed one way or another. We just cannot leave those devices on their own. We have to, from time to time, update firmware and check is everything working properly. And again, the network map simplifies that. By simply just unifying all different Teltonika devices, router, managed switches, access point, network map makes them work as a one in a whole big network. And this can significantly improve the engineers' their efficiency. The network map is the tool which will help you to reduce time required to onboard new network, first of all. Not only from the point of remote configuration, what RMS already is capable of doing, but from the point that engineer has a visual information about the network. He sees who connects to what, which ports are used. And this just helps to set things correctly first time. If this is not enough, all the changes will take actions immediately and will be resynced and shown how it looks on the map. So you will also quickly see effect of those changes. On top of that, as mentioned, network map fuses physical locations with virtual networking. As you've seen in full Teltonika scenario, access point can be placed in the first floor of the building A side. And this will represent you that devices who are connecting to that specific access point might not work properly and don't have to guess which access point works bad. I can see and know that this device works poorly and I have to work it. So this really helps not only to configure, but if there is a need to done service on site, physical to device, I don't have to guess where I should go. With all the visual data, it is also simple to create, manage, update VLANs required for secure network, for high performance network in the site. So, with few clicks, again, you can separate networks. As a IT administrator, you might receive a request, to separate OPM team from the sales. And this tool can be the one just saying that connections from the switch goes through that interface, connections from those ports of the switch goes through that interface. You have the control of that using network map, and everything is in one place, visually showing and configuring. And same true with Wi-Fi. You don't have to get access physical or remote access point to change SSID, password, add new instances, nothing. Everything can be done centralized and locally through one tool of Networks Map, and here it is available for you. But those four is not all what RMS Network Map provides. Network Map also incorporates RMS Connect functionality. It enables not only management of our devices, of Teltonika devices, but at the same time, it provides user possibility to establish access to all connected third-party devices directly from this tool, just by clicking one button. Network Map increases your company efficiency. First of all, to onboard more projects, to manage them remotely, and at the same time, spending less time for the same work. If we compare it without using RMS. From business perspective, this translates to be a competitive in the market, provide more competitive services, allowing essentially maybe even close more projects or make more revenue without cutting corners where it's not necessary. You can provide better service without any sacrifices. The network map, in my opinion, is truly the smarter way of network management. I guess most of you already guessed it and ask yourself a question, this tool, Network Map, has a lot of similarities with SDN, and you are totally right. The Network Map is our first step into software-defined networking solution, which allows centralized multiple site management remotely and securely from single interface, from single place. So yes, this is an SDN. But of course, in most cases, such tools are synonymous, with enterprise market, where we have to manage, let's say, shopping centers, malls, huge office buildings, data centers. However, we are now bringing this control, this management capabilities to industrial use cases, to day-to-day Teltonika partners use cases. And we want to help all of our partners to simplify their network management. And in this case, it doesn't matter if the network is just a public transport bus or a busy factory with numerous of devices connected. Every single engineer will find the value of network map in the daily routines. And of course, we're coming to an end. And at the end, I think a lot of you are waiting an interesting part of how much it costs, what it will mean for us. And before moving on, to the details about pricing, I can say that this will be the second best thing after Network Map itself. Network Map comes as a standard with device management service. Or to put in other words, you don't have to buy it, enable it, or do anything. If you have device management enabled for a device, you can already try it and experience Network Map now. At the moment, we are starting with support of Root X series devices, which uses Root OS version 7.06.1 or newer. And of course, next support will come to Root C and Root M series devices. So if you already own a Root X device, you can try it and feel full potential of this device at your use case or just test it. So what is next? I just can I just want to encourage you to try the network map with your existing RootX device to see what information you get, the controls you receive, and how the network looks in your case. Of course, to enable its full potential, as you have witnessed, at our managed switches like TSW202 or TSW212, and to even see how Wi-Fi's can be managed, try it with our access points like TAP 200, TAP 100, or again, you can use just X50 and see how you control that device integrated access points from network map. And of course, lastly, let us know what was your experience, how you liked it, RMS map, and of course, what can be improved. Your feedback helps us go forward and simplify network management for everyone. So let's make connectivity happen together. Of course, for the future, if you wanted to be first and hear news about tools like Network Map or something new, what's coming to RMS or all Teltonika network portfolio, make sure to follow us in social media and subscribe to our newsletter. So thank you for joining today's webinar. Have a nice day.